All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. We got some people filtering in right now. We got a couple of you guys on here. How we doing? We are here for another episode of Coffee and Creators. This is like our fifth or sixth episode or something like that. I mean, this is awesome. We've been doing this for a little while, bringing in some new creators, people that you've probably seen before, and some people that you probably haven't seen before. Uh, Today's guest, I'm not going to talk too much about her, but I met her when we were doing our gig in Nashville. She is an absolute hoot at a party. She brought such an energy to the situation that it was just like amplified everything that we had going on. So I started looking her up, checking out her videos, seeing what she was doing, and she is definitely a character that you guys have to meet if you don't already know her, and definitely pay attention to. So without further ado, I know you guys might know her as That1Crazy, but definitely let's bring Jessica out to the stage and have a conversation with you. Come on out, Jessica.
Oh, I get to be on a
There she
stage.
is. Yeah, you're out on stage.
I'm actually in an RV right now.
Hey, you know what? Everybody's got a stage and all stages look different. So, first of all, welcome to Coffee and
Thank you very
Creators.
much. It's awesome to be on here. This is my first podcast, by the way. I'm a virgin, so this is
All
it.
right. So, everybody hear that? She's a virgin. Be nice ish. Okay. Be nice ish. I'm glad to have you. I loved meeting you at the thing in Nashville. You guys, especially you and Bennett Peach, you guys are just, y'all are wild childs. Y'all are complete wild childs.
Together, you should see us. It is a little wild, a little crazy.
Oh, I watched all your videos. I saw what y'all was doing. I was like, y'all are off a chain. Y'all are off a chain in a good Southern way. So I'm glad to have you here. The first thing we always like to do with our creators that we bring onto the stage is let's hear all about you and how you got to this point thus far. So I know this might be a little embarrassing, but you got to talk about yourself a little bit because that's what we're here to do is talk about you. So tell us, how did you get started into social media? How did you get yourself to this point? What was your inspiration? Give us the whole background.
Well, the background is kind of a challenge. So I'm not one to back down from a challenge. So anybody that challenged me to do something, I mean, hell, that's why I ended up climbing Mount Fuji, and all that's a story for another day. But during COVID, my son was home from college because they had shut down his college. I wasn't really big on social media, like ever. I had a Facebook just because my mom wanted to know that I was still alive when I was stationed overseas. You know, I was in the military for 22 years, but I was never big onto social media. I never took selfies and posted them, none of that kind of stuff. Well, one day when my son was staying with us for over a month, he was outside and he kept laughing at something that he was looking at. And I'm like, what are you wasting all your time on? And he was like, TikTok. And I was like, what is a TikTok? Like, I was that stupid. I was like, what is a TikTok? I don't understand. And he said, Mom, it's an app. And I was like, an app to do what? Like, I don't even have apps on my phone prior to me getting on social media. And so he started showing me, and I'm laughing along with them. And one day, him and I were sitting on the back. We were having a couple drinks, and then he challenged me. He was like, well, you think it's so stupid, because I was like, oh, this is like a kid's app. And he was like, oh, really? So do you think you can make videos and get followers too? I said, yes. Not thinking that he would actually challenge me right then and there to do so. So I created a TikTok on my back porch at around 11 o'clock at night, having a drink with my son. And I made a very cringe-worthy TikTok, posted it, and the rest is history. And now I just continued to post.
So you did this all on a bet with your son on an app that you didn't know anything about. You just decided to just go, all out and do it and make it happen.
Of course.
Okay, so that was the first one. Okay, but everybody has, everybody's like the first one is always the easy one because you don't care, right? But then you start to care at some point. Then you start to care because you got followers and you feel like you got a presence. You feel like you got to do this and you've got to do it right and you got to do it justice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What was like that thing that caused you to feel your niche or your niche, as someone likes to call it? It's called a niche. It's a niche.
This right here. This was our dog. This was Cairo. What made it my niche, or where I really kind of exploded on the app per se, was that Cairo was our 16-year-old lab, and actually he was brought into the relationship by my husband. It was my husband's lab that he bought from Germany. Had him all his life, and it was the first time I had a dog. I was always a cat person, okay? And when Cairo passed away, I posted it on TikTok because it was the way he passed away wasn't, meaning it was malicious by a neighbor. And I started posting about it. I was very upset and just raw and saying what I had to say. And that was the first time I always told myself I would never cry on the internet, and that the emotions got the best of me. And I think people recognize that I do believe that my dogs are part of my family. They came with us traveling. That's why we have him up here. He loved to go traveling, loved to RV. And I started doing content that was just my everyday life. And I felt comfortable. I started connecting with friends, like actually made real friends in real life through the app that would DM me. I'd DM them back. And then we started FaceTiming, and then we've met in real life. So I think that it opened me up to just be who I was as a Gen Xer. I mean, I'm all over the place with my content. I'm travel content. I'm Gen X. I'm Gigi. I'm dog mom. So it's just literally whatever I'm going on, and let people know that you also just, your life is interesting. It may not seem interesting to me. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm Basic Betty. But when you share it with other people who also think they're Basic Betty, you're like, okay, I get it. So it just made me feel more comfortable that there were people like that, like me, because Gen X were quiet for so long. And when I started seeing other content creators saying the same stuff, like we shared the same story, I could close my eyes and talk to 10 different people and know which ones are Gen X in the room without seeing them.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true.
So I was like,
but we're in our 40s, and you're in your 50s, right?
52.
And so I wasn't going to say exactly what day, but you said it,
I
so it's
ashamed
okay.
of my age.
You and Miss Sherry are on the same wavelength as far as age. By the way, she celebrated her birthday
today, by the way.
Yeah, that was her birthday today. Yeah. How do you feel about doing this at this point in your life? Right? Because we're not spring chickens anymore. We should, if we thought about our parents, like they're kind of getting ready to put themselves out to pasture at this age. And I feel like we're on a climb. I mean, what do you think about that?
It's weird for me because when you put it into perspective, some of the TV shows that we watched back then, what was it? All in the Family.
Yeah.
And the Golden Girls, like they were our age. And I was like, no.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Because when I used to watch that, I'd be like, these are my grandparents. And like they actually looked like grandparents. I don't know if it's the Mad Dog 2020 or the jungle juice that we drank, as a kid, that it's just maybe formaldehyde for us right now, because I just don't feel like we are aging at the same pace as our grandparents did, but not even just aging physically, but mentally. I know that when my mom was this age, like she was done, like she's just a grandparent, just doing this. And you have people our age that are just now starting businesses and are still going and are, doing all this stuff on the internet. When you'd think they'd start to slow down, it's like we can't slow down. Like our generation said, just go, go, go.
Right. I'll be honest with you, this is the busiest I've ever been in my life. I mean, I've never stayed up until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night doing live streams or doing anything work related prior to this. I'd be in bed by now.
Right? That's facts too.
Yeah, and we're
jumped on.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Who's your daughter? Which one's your daughter?
Bailey Woodruff. She just jumped on, and which is strange because my kids aren't social media. Like I sent it to her, but my kids are the age that should be into social media right now. Like they should be the ones that are on TikTok making all this and doing whatever. They're rarely on it. Like they'll get on it to scroll. They don't post selfies. They're not, neither one of them post anything on TikTok or even on Facebook. Like I don't know what's going on with them. I have to actually physically talk to them.
It's like the inverse of my kids, completely inverse of my kids.
Exactly.
So how many kids do you
have? 3. 2 are biological. 1 is like adopted.
Okay. And are they all grown?
All grown. My youngest is 26.
And you got grandbabies too?
4
grandbabies.
And
Good
very,
Lord.
very involved with the 4. So like what you were saying, even though I'm a grandmother now, I don't call myself grandmother. I'm a Gigi, right?
You're a Gigi, okay. Because everybody's got their names.
Everybody got their names. I think grandma was out like a long time ago. We have to have special little names.
Yeah.
But it's like, I love to see my grandkids. Like I'm getting ready to go down. I talk to my oldest daughter who's on right now constantly. And to the point where sometimes she calls me and I'm like, what? Like, go live your life. And like, she's constantly calling me, but I love it. Her and I FaceTime all the time. She keeps me involved because my kids live 3 hours away, meaning the ones that I have grandkids from, they live 3 hours away. Now my son, who has no kids, lives 15 minutes from me. So I see him. He comes over all the time. He's actually checking in on my house while I'm gone. But I truly enjoy hanging with my kids, and I'm thankful that they still like hanging out with me.
Yeah.
Because we do fun stuff. I mean, it's one thing to be a parent when they're being raised, but
Yeah.
now that they're grown up, we can have a different type of relationship. I love that they ask me for advice, but then I can also go out and have a drink with my son. So that's totally different for me.
So
My
you
mom
said
would never.
they're not on social media, but
No,
they're aware of your social media situation, obviously.
correct.
What do they think about it?
Well, it's funny because my grandchildren, even though they're very young, especially like my 6-year-old, my daughter will say, "Oh my gosh, my 6-year-old keeps watching your TikToks." Right? Like that's if mom lets her have the phone, it's to watch my TikTok. She's like, "I want to see Gigi." And my 3-year-old, very very smart by the way, that's my daughter Bailey's daughter. She'll come over and she'll want to do a TikTok with me. She's like, "I want to do video. I want to do video," and she knows exactly what that is. And they think it's funny that Gigi is on that, like putting a tripod up and doing funny little dances with them.
I'm jealous.
And
I'm jealous. I'm honestly jealous. I'm honestly jealous. I don't have grandkids yet, so.
But you have 5 kids, so surely it's coming.
I got 5 kids. I got a solid 1 bet. I've got a 50% on another, and then there are 3 of them that are just a lost cause. It's
Oh
probably
my
not going to happen.
God.
Yeah, but for sure 1. For sure.
Well, I will. When you said 3 of them are lost cause, I have noticed like more and more this generation, like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. They're free to do what they want, but so many are saying they do not want to have kids and they will not have kids. Our generation, it's kind of like you kind of
that was step 2.
Yeah, like
that was step 2. Step 1 was you got married. Step 2 was you had
Exactly.
kids. It was just the process. That was the process, and maybe you got a job somewhere in there.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
But you never got a career because you wanted to. You got a job because it supported your family. That was just the way that it
exactly.
was. Yeah,
It
it's
is
completely different now. Completely.
it's weird to me, and I tell my daughter this all the time. Like my oldest daughter is definitely more like me. Besides the fact that she watches anime, like I don't even understand anime. It's a different world. I don't even try to explain it. But like she wanted the family. She wanted to have. I mean, she's a absolutely wonderful mother. Every single time I see her do something, anything that I've ever had to deal with them as kids, it gets washed away because I'm like, this was all worth it. This was all worth it. Seeing my adult daughters become mothers, and it astonishes me sometimes that these are little humans that I raised that are now raising little humans.
Now, are they gentle parents or are they old school parents?
My daughter, both of them, very much Gen X raised parents. They raised their kids how they were raised.
Good to hear. Good to hear. There's hope somewhere down the road.
Yeah. And my daughter even says that too. She's like, I just can't relate with my generation. Because my oldest daughter is a millennial. My 2 oldest daughters are millennials. My son is a Gen Z. And my daughter comes to me sometimes and she's like, I just don't feel like I fit in. Like I don't relate to the generation that I belong to. And I get that.
Yeah, they're definitely different. They're definitely different. Definitely different.
Yes.
So let's talk about what happens to you when you go out. Have you ever been noticed in public yet?
I have.
How did that go?
The very first time I was actually with one of my grandkids and we were at a fall festival here in my local area. And I think I was dressed something silly because that's what my granddaughter wanted me to dress as. And we were taking her to a little fall festival. And me and my husband were walking by some of the booths and we saw this lady kept looking at us and then she like waved. And I'm like, I looked at my husband and said, do I know her? Like, do we know her? Right. Because I'm at a local fall festival. So I'm just like, hey, like wave back. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know this person's name. So the minute I wave back, she comes over and she was like, you're That1Crazy72. And I was like, at first I was thinking, is she calling me crazy? Right? Like, who is this person? Then I remembered I actually have a screen name. And I was like, oh, yes, that's me. And she was like, I follow you. And she's like, can I get a picture? And I loved doing the picture. But like, I told my husband as I walked away, I said, I don't know what to do. I feel like such an awkward person. I said, was that such an awkward exchange? And he was like, what were you supposed to? I said, I don't know. I feel awkward. And he was like, just talk, be yourself. And I'm like, okay.
I'll be honest with you. Julie, Mrs. DBV, had to be my coach. She coached me through that because she was like, because I was so awkward when the first couple of times that it happened. She had to she's like, look, they're giving you the look. You need to, wave or say something, and don't clam up, and take a picture and give a hug or whatever. Just stop being so weird about it. And it's still, I mean, it still happens all the time that I'm weird about it. So
well, I think the weirdest for me is that sometimes, but I by far would never ever consider myself anything but a Gigi, a mom, and a wife, right?
yeah,
But I think it's funny that we went camping last time in Chattanooga, and when I'm camping, usually I don't look made up like this. I look like a straight hot bag of trash, okay? Because when you're camping, I live like you're out, you're hiking, you're with your dogs, you're just hanging out. So it's, for lack of a better term, your movies are just hanging out, okay? Well, we're hanging outside of our campground one day, and we're just got finished eating, and I just got out of the pond that we were near, so I'm looking crazy. So this car starts to go by really slow at our campground, because whenever we're camping, I always tell people, hey, we're camping, this is where we're at,
yeah.
blah blah blah. This car goes by really slow, and then turns around and goes by really slow again. And then all of a sudden it stops, and this woman comes out, and she comes walking over, and she's like, I knew it was you. I thought it was this campground. And I'm like, oh my God, I am looking so crazy, because I can tell even on her face, she had to ask if that was me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I swear it's me. I just don't look like me right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And she sat down and we had lunch. And so it was just, it's kind of like my daughter says, let's do a don't be weird challenge.
Yeah.
Because I normally will talk to anybody. Like if I'm at Walmart, Kmart, did I just say Kmart? Kmart's are freaking closed.
Kmart's are gone. They've been gone for a minute too.
Exactly. Like if I go to Walmart, I'll talk to people in the line, just random strangers.
Yeah.
But it's like when you know me and you're purposefully coming up to talk to me, that's when I feel weird.
That's when you feel weird, because they're coming to talk to you because of you, not
Right.
because you're the random stranger who had a conversation with them. Look, all right, let's demystify this. Mrs. DBV is in the chat right here, so
Okay.
I'm gonna throw her under the bus a little bit. Where do you live? Do you live in North Carolina?
I live in Alabama.
You're in Alabama. Okay, it's Bennett who's over in North Carolina.
Yeah.
When somebody comes over to your house, like if the cable guy comes over to your house, approximately how long are you going to spend talking to him?
Me, not as much as my husband. My husband, I have to rescue any service people from our house and be like, look, you just have to walk.
You got to rescue the service people.
Because walk backward.
Mrs. DBV is not from Mrs. DBV is not from the South. And so when she was, we first started living together, she had to learn some things about the South. Oh. Number one, if somebody comes over your house, you're going to talk to them.
Oh, for sure.
You're going to talk to them for a minute.
For sure.
And she didn't know that a minute meant like 30 at least. Like they go tell you, they could tell you how your mom and them doing and all that kind of stuff.
That's facts.
So she had to learn that. So for all of you in the chat right now, if you go to the South and somebody has a conversation with you, like if you ask them how they doing, you're gonna hear how they doing, and you got to accept that. That's just part of it. I know we got an international group going over here. I see people all the way in Australia and all over the world. Y'all just got to learn that about the South. Mm-hmm. That's just what's gonna happen. That's important. It's important, I think, to break that stigma, because she was hot about it for a minute. I mean, it took a good minute for her to get over the fact that I had to stand there and talk to this man and, figure out how he went to high school and how we might have known somebody and this, that, and the other. And she was like, I can't believe you're talking to this dude. Like, how can you talk to this dude?
But did you also offer him a drink? Because my daughter pointed out, she's in this
hell
house.
Yeah.
They walk in the house, they're getting a drink.
We had the air conditioning guys come to our first house, and they was replacing the air conditioners. Man, I went out and got them KFC for I was like, we're taking care of these boys. They're down there sweating underneath the house, putting in the air conditioner. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're coming, there's either a pie, cookies, something that you're going to offer. They don't, even though you're paying them to come to your house to fix something or do something, you're coming to my house. So you're going to feel welcome at this house.
It's the hospitality. You still got to put it out there. You still got to put it up. So speaking of hubby, since hubby, you're talking about hubby there for a minute, and he's obviously the talker.
Yes.
Which is strange, because I know that you're a talker too.
He out talks me. Like when I'm around him, like if you're in a room with both of us, you'd think I was the quiet one. If he's not around me, then I'm the talker.
What's he think about all this?
It's funny because like when I first started it, you know how I even got the name That1Crazy?
Yeah.
Because when he heard me and my son making the challenge, he was like, oh my God, you are so crazy. You are blah, blah, blah years old at that time, 72. So that's why I came up with That One Crazy, because he told me I was crazy for even getting on this app and doing it. And I will say it's been 4 years now, but when I first started, I felt embarrassed to be in a room. Like I couldn't make content if he was in the room because he's in the back going,
oh, I can't do it. I still can't.
Like
I still can't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Because it's the weirdest concept to be literally setting up a camera, a tripod, and talking to it. Like that's just not in our in our forte. It is for millennials. Like they talk to the phone.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
But for me, I'm like, I'll always see him in the background, and I just get flustered. I don't know what I'm saying. And I've lost my train of thought. I'm like, oh my God, leave the room.
Yeah, get out. And I definitely can't change voices when she's standing around. So definitely can't do that. But yeah, 100% feel that. But he's okay with it. I mean, he's on board.
Yeah, I mean, like at first he was like, "This is ridiculous. So you're pulling out your camera every time we go somewhere, right?" And I kind of felt that too.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like when we first go traveling or whatnot, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, let me make this for content, or let me show him this and that." He was like, "Oh my God, put your phone down," because that's what we were taught. Like, if you're there, be there in the moment.
Right.
Be present.
Right.
And I fully believe that. So now a lot of times, even when I'm traveling or camping, I'll just take, when we're out, snippets of our adventures, and then later on when I get done camping, put all of it together, right? So
I can't do that.
I'm not taking away some of the time with us. Now, if it's, look, and he's going to die right now, but when we're camping and he wants me to be present, I'll take the time when he's going to the bathroom or he's going somewhere else. I'll run outside to go do something real quick, so I'm not taking the time.
He'd be like, grab your phone and be like, hey, he's taking a shit, y'all. He's taking a shit right now. Yeah, I just want to check in with y'all, just see how pretty it is. Y'all see how pretty it is? Oh, shit, he's done. I hear him wiping. I hear the flush. I got to go.
It's stupid. Like some of the things that we think about, because this is foreign to me, even after years of doing it, it still feels weird to pick up a phone. Like I would do so much better if I just had a GoPro on me, like just put a GoPro on and just live my life. And then at the end of the day, pull out some snippets from that. And it'd probably be just the same.
You could just strap one to your head. I mean, you got the little headgear ones. You can just roll around with that all day. And then
why not?
See what I can't do that. If I don't do it right then, film it, cut it, edit it right at the moment, I'm not going to touch it. Cause I have this like certain time during the day, like 2 p.m. is when I go out and I make my videos, and that's it. I'm done.
I'm not that focused or scheduled. Like I make my content whenever the mood just gets me. Like I don't have a specific, there's some days I don't make content at all. Now, because of those days that I don't want to make content, on a day like, let's say a Saturday when I'm bored and all the stuff that I have to have done is done, I'll make a whole bunch of content that day and put it in drafts. So on the days like just being lazy and being in my fat clothes all day, I'm like, okay, I got something to post.
Man, I gotta learn that. I can't. I gotta learn that because I like film it, post it, go away, and then I quit. I don't mess with it.
Nope, I can't. I can't. I mean, hell, my husband's like, he thinks that all the time. He's like, I just take snippets, 5 seconds here, 10 seconds here. And then later on when I'm sitting down or he's in bed and I have quiet time, then I will put it all together. Now, when I'm on Instagram, that's totally different. I love Instagram stories almost more than posting on TikTok, because Instagram stories, there is no thinking about it.
I know, it's just whatever.
Yeah, I'm like ad nauseum. They probably get sick of me on Instagram stories. Because I have the same username on Instagram. But I'll let everybody know what I'm doing. Like I will wake up looking crazy and be like, y'all, I'm having my coffee and look what just got in my coffee. Like, I don't care. I'm literally giving you my whole entire day, my synopsis of my day as I'm living it, because I know it's going to go away in 24 hours. Like you can't do anything.
That is true. That is true about that. That is one of the best things about stories and one of the worst things about stories. Because if you get a hot one, then you got to like go pull it out through the history and throw it up there as a reel or whatever. But for those of you who are in the chat and both on Instagram and on Facebook and YouTube over here, I know that we are not broadcasting over to her channels today. We were having some adult technical difficulties when we did our technical check that we couldn't figure it out. So there is a QR code up on the screen for her links and also her merch store and everything else. If you guys please would, because these are all my followers right now, go check out all of her content because she is absolutely hilarious. And we'll plug this again at the end. It's That1Crazy72 over on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, right?
TikTok and Instagram. My Facebook is Jessica Mccabe, my actual name.
Jessica Mccabe. So it's a legit one over it. And do you have YouTube?
No, I don't have time for that shit. I don't know how you're doing it. Like, I literally don't have time for that.
Just doing everything. Just do whatever. I don't know. I do whatever I'm told to do.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm barely getting by with just the 2 that I have.
Yeah, Josh is asking the question. Josh, if you can hit that QR code with your phone, if you're watching this on a big TV, you can hit that QR code that's up there on the top of the screen. If not, you can go over to her TikTok page. It's That1Crazy72 on TikTok and Instagram, and then Jessica Mccabe on Facebook.
Yeah.
She does not have a YouTube page yet.
Oh my God. I could not.
Look, I'm going to tell you, you got to get a YouTube page. I'm just telling you.
Everybody says that, but like, honestly, for me,
you got to get a YouTube page.
I enjoy the connection that I make on Instagram, and I enjoy the connection I make on TikTok. Like I said, I've actually made real live friends. That sounds so weird that I just said it that way, but like I don't have friends that just live in Canada. Like, I've made real life friends through the apps. That's what I take away from it. I mean, it's not. I just can't. I can't hustle. Like, I don't want to hustle like that.
I love your husband in the background, by the way.
He's like, I want to be a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
All the time. Like, this is why I can't film in front of him, because this is what you would hear the whole entire time. Like, if I'm trying to film it, he will say something that will even totally get me off my game.
Tell him he needs to come to Vegas. He needs to come to Vegas with you.
I told him well, him and I in Vegas would probably be ridiculous.
Yeah, we need you. We need you there, bro. You need to come to Vegas. We need to hang out.
Yeah, we're probably going to be at the Vegas one, just because we're like, hey, we haven't been to Vegas in a while. What stays in Vegas, all that stuff. And he's like, what can we get in trouble for? Right? And I was like, let's find something. You
can get in trouble for a lot in Vegas. Okay.
You could, but like, we're at that age that, jail isn't really deterrent anymore. Like, I'm like,
I don't want to spend the rest of my years behind the 4 walls and the cot, 4 hots in the cot.
I mean, like, if you have to take me in for the night, okay. Right. I've never been to jail. Well, maybe I just want to know what it's like.
I'm not jail material. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not jail material. I would
probably sit in there and talk to a bunch of people and make friends before I left.
It's not like that for dudes. I don't think it is.
Okay, I didn't really think about that.
I think we're one or the other, right? We're either the prison bitch or we're not. Okay. Thanks. And I think that I'd probably be pretzeled. Somebody had me doing things that I don't want to be doing, and I'm not ready for that. I'm just not ready for it. Okay.
No, I don't think, no.
So I'm gonna keep my nose clean in Vegas. Okay.
It's not the life for you.
It's not the life for you. And if everybody's wondering what we're talking about for Vegas, there is what's called the Cheer Choice Awards, which take place on April 10th, I believe, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas. I will be there. I'm hoping that Jessica's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be there. Yeah.
I'm praying that she's going to be there. Yeah, Doug, orange is not my color, bro. Orange is not my color. It's not. I'm a blues kind of guy. But I know that myself, Slim Sherry, Professor Nick Harrison, and Kelly Mono will be there. And there's a couple other creators that we are reaching out to try to get to go. But we want Jessica to go too, and her husband.
Jennifer says, because you got a pretty mouth.
Exactly, right? I do.
Oh, hey, Luann. I just saw that you came in. Luann's one of mine. She comes to my Friday night trivias. So we play trivia every Friday night, what's called whiskey trivia, right? Whiskey
trivia.
Whiskey Fridays. So we sit there and we play some trivia, 80s trivia, of course. And you know what I found? When you play 80s and 90s trivia, it pretty much keeps you live to just boomers, Gen X, and elder millennials. Because if youngins walk in, they're like, what is she talking about? Where's the beef? Or whatever. They have no clue what's happening in my life, and they don't want to be there. So it's like we go there and we have a good time playing trivia, and I give away T-shirts. So they get free stuff when they come.
And when is this again for all the people that weren't paying attention?
It's every Friday, and I usually go on between 6, usually at 7 Central, meaning 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock your time, so 8 o'clock Eastern time on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's why y'all need to follow her, because she does a lot more lives and more interactive stuff than somebody like me does. Y'all definitely need to follow her.
You go live on TikTok, don't you?
No.
Like at all?
Once in a blue moon.
Really?
Mostly it's in here in StreamYard with my Gen X crew, or doing this, or the podcast that I have with my sister. But the podcast is recorded, so yeah, I don't do lives very often.
Oh wow, I that's the one thing that I do enjoy about TikTok is when we go on Fridays, I always see the same
Somebody don't
people in
loud me
there.
out.
Like it becomes like a community, and we all get to know each other in there. And then more people come because they talk about it, and it's like that's like the Gen X hangout. Because let's be honest, like I'm 52 years old. There's no place to go have a play date with somebody in my age group. So you tend to meet a lot of people with the same likes in that live, and it's like I recognize their names, I recognize their usernames, and I start to get their their first name, and they feel like this is a place like Cheers where everybody knows your name and they can come hang out.
It's true. It's true. She brings up a good point, Mrs. DVV, is that I do when I drink. When it's bonfire season and I go out back, I will do some lives when I'm having a couple beers by the fireplace. So
beers, oh my god, cannot do beer.
Well, okay. No, look, don't start hating, okay? Don't start hating. I am an equal opportunity alcoholic, okay?
Okay, how about whiskey?
I've just been turned on to Scotch.
Really?
Yeah. So when I went over, I don't know if you knew that me and Mrs. DBV went over to the UK. She was there for work for 2 weeks, and then I came at the end of her work trip, and then we spent 2 days in London, 2 days in Edinburgh. That's how you say it, Edinburgh, and then 2 days in Dublin. One of my followers hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to go do a whiskey tasting or a Scotch tasting?" He said whiskey, but it was Scotch because it was in Edinburgh, and I was like, "Sure, why not?" So Mrs. DBV hooked it up and scheduled it all, and we went over to this dude's house, which was like a renowned whiskey profiler. You know, the guy that writes the whiskey flavors on the back of the bottle. This was like one of the dudes that's been doing it for like 50 years. And we tried Scotch, and he's an old Scotsman, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's teaching me all about Scotch. And I'm like, I'm totally into this shit now. I'm fucking hooked.
Oh my gosh.
It was the coolest experience that I've ever had in my life. And now I'm like totally on Scotch. In fact, I just ordered a bottle of his private little label that he's got to be sent over from Scotland. Bottle one.
Feel a little bit more sophisticated, like
I do. I feel like I'm sophisticated. I mean, I'm just a guy from kind of redneck from South Carolina, but I feel refined now. I feel like I can do things.
It's funny because I tell my husband, I wish I liked wine, because I said sometimes I just want to be a girly girl, and he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Look, I'm out here pounding whiskey. I feel like I need to be sitting with one of the guys when not pounded. I drink on Friday nights. Like I'm not, if I pounded anymore, I would be on the floor in about 5 seconds. But like I want just like a glass of wine, like put my pinky out and be all like, yes, let's go have a little wine date. Let's go do wine and brisket, whatever you eat with wine. I don't know. I can't even smell wine. Like every time my husband has tried to take me to a vineyard to try to like, girl me up or be more sophisticated, he took me to this one vineyard. He said, "I promise you they're going to find a wine that you're going to love." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And so she brought out all these things, and she's like, "Do you like sweet? Do you like wine?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just know that it all tastes disgusting." So she was having me try all this. The only one that I could even put down was, what was it, babe? Muscadine wine.
Oh, brother. Ugh. Brother, ugh.
And I don't know what it is about
wine.
What's
that, I think it's brother?
Fermentation.
What's the? Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Muscadine.
so here's Muscadine is like drinking Kool-Aid. It's the equivalent of Kool-Aid. I mean, let's be honest with you. It's the only grape that will actually grow in the South, like the Southeast, is because it's so freaking hot and humid here. It's like St. Ives special brew from like the 90s. That's what I equivalent that stuff to. I mean,
I couldn't even drink the wine coolers back in the 80s.
Exactly. It's like a Zima. It's like the Zima of wines.
I couldn't do that either. I mean, I could not drink any of that stuff. I think it would give me a headache. It was too sweet, or the fermentation. I don't know what it was, but it was always just like would give me a straight gag reflex.
It's well, I can't drink wine anymore because it just gives me so much heartburn. I used to love like good like a Merlot or a Pinot Noir. Oh my god!
I don't even know what you're talking about. Like that's just a whole bunch of words that mean nothing.
Oh, I gotta educate you too. I had to educate Mrs. DBV because she had never drank wine before she met me.
And really? Then I got Is she drinking it now?
No, she can't. We both get the heartburns from it.
I
That and
get
spicy
heartburn
food.
so bad. Like, I don't
That's because
understand.
we're freaking old. Our
But that
insides
should
are all
not be
tore
a
up.
thing. Like,
Well, I mean, it is a thing, right? We are a unit of pieces, and those pieces eventually break down. And some of them, when they break down, it's not pretty, and they give us stuff
I
that doesn't.
reject your reality and I replace it with my own. I am
Okay, you
young.
can
I
do
am
that,
fun. I am 30
but
years old.
drink some wine and call me later, and you're gonna tell me exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna get heartburn because your
Exactly.
stomach's all messed up.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
taking heartburn medication in the morning and at night because mine's so bad. If I've missed
See,
one dose,
I just
I'm
take it
done.
as needed. I'm not where you're at.
No,
Okay.
I am
I'm not.
all day, every day.
You just got a prescription for it.
Yeah, my husband had to remind me, you just got a prescription for it because you're just
I
like,
got
I
a
got
prescription.
it. Thank
I got a
you.
prescription too, but it's as needed.
No,
It's
mine
as
is
needed.
every day, twice a day.
Oof.
That's how bad.
Don't tell me that. I don't want to. I don't want to know. I don't want to
And
know.
when I-
Matt, we're live. Matt, we're live.
Is this live or pre-recorded? I don't know. Let's start talking. Like, just move your mouth, but don't actually say anything. Like that. I screw people up on Fridays when I know they've been drinking a little too much, and I will do that on purpose. And they're like, I think you're lagging. What do you mean I'm lagging? I will do that kind of bullshit. Like don't get me drinking on live. Luckily, I have good moderators that they know when I've had my fill. They'll
See,
be like,
okay,
that's what live is going off.
That's my problem. I don't have any moderators. I don't have a moderator. It's just me. And if you leave me alone with some alcohol and my phone, I'm gonna do something. And I'm afraid that I'm gonna do something I'm gonna regret tomorrow when I see it.
And that's why I have my moderators are the ones that I've met in real life. That are my friends that I go to their house. So my moderators come on Friday and they put a little keyword in there to kind of tell me, okay, it's time for you to get off now. So I'm like, all right,
genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. It'll be like a code word. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we've agreed that when I see the code word, Jessica's doing dumb shit, it's time to get off.
That's so smart. That's genius.
It's very smart.
I would feel safer with myself if I had something like that. Julie.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Julie. The problem is she'll be right there with me. She'll be all half cocked with me. So there's no good answer to this problem that we have. We don't have any friends like really close to us. So
I'm telling you right now, like I feel weird now, and I want to touch on this and ask you the same thing. Like when I first started TikTok, I had made actual real friends. Like I told you, I've been to their house, they've been to my house. Yeah. We FaceTime all the time. But I feel like the longer I've stayed on now, I don't know if something has shifted, but it is crazy the amount of people that feel okay to say stuff to perfect strangers. And luckily, like I was telling my husband, I can look at some of them and go, oh, well, it's not my problem, it's their problem because, they're upset with themselves. But I don't trust many people. There's so many little scams that are happening now, or people themselves are scammy, that I'm like, it's really hard to kind of open up now because it's shifted a bit. Yeah. And some of the things you see on live or see after dark, you can't unsee.
It's unfortunate because we are here because of a bunch of people who decided that they think our shit's funny.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that we can't trust that when people reach out to us that it's legitimate. But it is true that, I mean, I had my freaking whole Facebook page hijacked for like 4 months. Yeah. Because of something like
do that.
Because somebody said that they were, I got hit with a podcast scam. I don't know if you've seen these, the podcast scams that say, hey, we're from this person will offer you some money if you go on this podcast. Well, mine was Candace Cameron. And I was thinking, how Gen X is that? Candace Cameron from what's it called?
Growing Pains.
Yeah.
Oh, Full House.
Yeah, from Full House. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. And it was a scam. And they hijacked my Facebook page and I lost it for like 4 months. And I lost a bunch of money. And my page has never been the same. Like it's never been the same. So it's unfortunate. So when I want to trust somebody, it's a verification process. You know what I mean?
And that's with me too. I mean,
I put them through the ringer. I hate it.
I've been hurt before because I do sometimes I feel. My husband says that he said, you forgot the basic rule in the military, trust but verify.
Yeah.
And he's right, because there's been people would send me things that be like, hey, can you please share this GoFundMe or whatever the case it be for this family? And I was the first to go, yes, I'll not only share it, but I will send some money to it because I'm reading the story just to find out the whole story was just BS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Why? Like, why would you do that to people?
It is. It's hard. And I get a lot. So I did this once. I made a video of somebody that their house was getting flooded. And that person actually reached out to me, and it come to find out that they actually put the video up because they were trying to get a GoFundMe started to help repair the damage that happened to their house. So I pushed the GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe blew it out of the water.
Right.
But then after that, I got like 60 or 70 or 80 other different GoFundMe requests that were all like these, super sad stories that I couldn't verify that whether or not they were real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it sucks that we have this platform right here, but we can't use it because there's so many people that are trying to abuse it for nefarious purposes. I would want to do a whole lot more than I'm doing, but I'm just afraid that I would be doing it for people that are not genuine.
And that is my whole thing too. Like my husband he was like, I'm going to take your TikTok away, because there was times when I wanted to help everybody that would DM me. And so I had my DMs open, meaning to people that I wasn't even friends with. And I would go through these and just read them. And I'd literally go, no way. You're like, I want to help this person. I sent one lady because she said she was a single mom of 4. This was right around Christmas. She DM'd me. And so I personally sent her $200 my own money. And then she blocked me.
Oh, that's fudge.
Yeah, and I'm like, why?
That's fudge.
Like, why would you do this? And now let me ask
and for everybody out there, it's those people that are ruining it for both you and us. I'll just be honest with you. It's these scammers that are ruining it for both of us, because there are a lot of creators that have a lot of pull that would love to do a lot of things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But they're too afraid that it's either a complete outright scam, or B, it's somebody that's not legitimate and they're going to go use it to do, I don't know, buy a car or some stupid, thing that they don't really need. Right. And it sucks. So yeah,
I feel so too. And well, I think I don't know if it's for you, but it's part of I joined the military, and I was in the military for 22 years, same with my husband. And because you felt like you were doing something bigger than yourself, and you felt like you were actually helping, or you were doing something that meant something. And so I wanted to continue that. I never in a million years thought I would have a platform to be able to help people on a different level than just being in the military. And I wish that there was a way that you could like vet some, like you said, it's the people that go on the side and I guess dry bag is what they call for money here on TikTok. But then the ones that really need it don't get it.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to know who those people are. Let me help you.
Right. Right. And there's been a lot. There's been a lot of veteran organizations that have reached out to me, and I've, sent a merch for an auction or whatever. I try to do as much as that as I definitely can. It's these individual ones that come up with these really sad stories that you're like, I want that to be real.
Yeah, I
really want that to be real.
Some of the side hustles are actually hustles.
Yeah. Their hustle is a side hustle.
Hustling.
Yeah.
My husband's walking. One thing you don't know about an RV: when you walk in this RV, the whole entire thing
shakes. Yeah.
The RV is a rocking.
The only time
don't come a knocking
is if I'm rocking it, not just because I'm walking. It makes me feel like I'm like, oh my god, do I weigh that much that I'm literally walking and shaking a whole entire?
Come on, it's a house on wheels. What do you want?
I want it to be luxurious.
You got to go get one of them big timers when you get up on that big TikTok money. Yeah, get them big timers.
Those fifth wheels are more than houses, and
I know.
No, not unless I'm living in it full time. That's a no.
Look, you take my advice that I gave you the other day, and you'll be getting one of those real soon.
You've got way more hustle than I have when it comes to this. My hustle is literally, I run an Etsy shop. I take care of my grandkids, and I take care of my mother, and we go and see his mother. So it's like that's my hustle. So
what do you sell on Etsy?
I do not custom t-shirts, but t-shirts. A lot of it is geared towards Gen X, meaning sarcastic stuff that our age group, my age group, would like or enjoy. And I have a lot of stuff coming out for Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's already up. Now, right now, I have my Etsy shop on vacation because I'm obviously on vacation. But the minute I get back, it goes back up. But I've built a really good community with the Etsy shop. Like, I've had people come back to me and want me to make their 50th wedding anniversary shirts. Like, I do some customs if I have the time, but for the most part, I design them. I design the shirts, and I'll send those off to vendors who will print them on screen print, or I purchase them from screen print vendors or from the artists themselves. But I do it all in my Etsy shop. I do the shirt, mail it out, get the shirts, pick the ones that I want, pick the sweatshirts I want. So I love doing it.
Jeez. You talking about me hustling?
I work more now that I'm retired than I did when I was working for corporate, because I did 22 in the military and then 6 years corporate. And I feel like, because when you work corporate, the minute you come home, like you clock out and you come home at 5 o'clock, in your mind, you're done. It's 5 o'clock. We're done.
Yep.
But when I'm at home, there is no clock out time.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, no, I know.
I still feel like when I have my Etsy shop, I'm still answering emails at 7 o'clock at night. I'll go up there and make shirts at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. There is no stopping time that I have to go home because I'm home already.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I just work so much more between making content, doing my Etsy, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm taking care of the grandkids, you know, or we're traveling through something we're doing right now. So it's like I'm just go.
Get a break.
Yeah, I go back to work just so I can get a break.
I totally hear you. I still have a corporate job, but I work from home, so I'm lucky. But there is no off. There is no off anymore. It's from can till can't in a much different way. So I completely understand that. Let's give over to the questions here. Let's see if we can get some questions out of the chat here. Both on. I've got Instagram up over here, then we've got our chat over here. So to the crowd, this is your opportunity to ask. To the crowd, to ask Jessica any questions that you might have about her content, her life, what she has going on, her future, what's her Etsy link, you know, all that stuff.
Be careful, because I'm going to tell you the truth. So make sure it's something.
Yeah, she's going to
tell you the truth.
She is a wild one. Okay, you get a couple sips of the sauce in this one, and she get buck wild.
I'm telling you, that's why I didn't drink before I came on here. I was like, look, I got to be respectable. I gotta try to be respectable
for the community. Gotta be. All right, I got the question over here. Shauna's OLT79. Shauna, I ruined your name over there on Insta. What's your Etsy shop link? LOL.
It is Stoked Design Co., all one word, at Etsy.com. So like stoked. Okay. I used to be a surfer growing up, and I use the word stoked quite a bit. I mean, I was born and raised in Florida.
Design Co.
Yeah.
Design Co. Is it 2 D's? Stoked?
Yeah. STOKED DESIGN Co. CO.
Yeah.
And you know you're on the right page because it has a VW van with the surfboard on top of it as the logo.
Is that it? Did I do it right? I put it in the chat.
Yeah, Stoked Design Co. Yeah, that'd be it.
Oh, look, she did it too. Jewel, you know what? You should just be in the chat chatting. I can do this. I got this. For those of you who don't know, everybody in the chat say hi to Mrs. DBV. She is my keeper, the great one, the one that keeps me wrangled and keeps me grounded.
Jennifer, it is on vacay mode because I'm currently in Kentucky. I'm not in Alabama. But if you follow the shop, the minute I open it, you'll get notification that it was open back up.
Another question over from Insta. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Florida, born and raised in Florida. We only ended up here in Alabama because I retired out of Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. That was my last last base I was stationed at. My husband was stationed out at Maxwell Air Force Base, or one Maxwell Base. What was it? Gunter Air Force Base here in Alabama. So once I retired, I moved here to Alabama until he retired. We ended up finding a house we loved, and then we stayed here.
Alabama. Alabama's beautiful. What part of Alabama are you in?
We're about 20 minutes outside of Montgomery.
Montgomery. Where's that in relation
not in the big city because we're not big city people, so we live in the country of Deetsville.
Country.
We live in the country.
Country. All right. From D. Atwood down there in New Zealand. What's your advice for a new Etsy shop?
Do your research for sure. Meaning, before I even opened up my Etsy shop, I was on YouTube probably for a month and a half, looking at all the do's and don'ts, what you should do. It was very confusing at first to even put up listings in Etsy, but now it's like riding a bike. But my biggest thing is Etsy is really honing in on people using the copyrighted stuff. So like, don't be posting anything about Disney, Nike, any of that stuff that you will get taken down in about 5 seconds flat. So just make sure that it is original, your artwork or artwork that you're authorized to sell. So you have to hustle with Etsy, meaning, and I'm going to be honest, if I didn't have a platform, I would not make as many sales as I do on Etsy, but because I have a platform to talk about it, meaning I usually talk about it on my Instagram, that's how I'm able to make sales, because Etsy's not going to advertise for you. Like you hardly, it's oversaturated on Etsy. So you're going to have to hustle yourself to get people to your page.
And so a follow up from that one was that D is new to Etsy, designs his own, and uses Canva. So
yeah,
let's follow up on that one. From Mrs. DBV, how did you like Chattanooga?
That's one of our favorite campsites.
Oh, fuck.
We go to Chester Frost RV Park. It's in Hickson, Tennessee, right outside of Chattanooga. That's the only RV park that we've gone back to twice because we absolutely love that place. That's the one place that you literally park your RV. Like, here's your RV and here's the huge lake. You're backed up to the lake. So many things to do. Bike riding. Our dogs love it. It's just a beautiful place.
She may be, or we may be on the hunt to potentially move over towards that area.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see.
The Hickson area, like look at the Hickson, which is right outside of Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It is beautiful around there. It really is.
Yeah, we want to get some property. Charleston's getting too busy for us, so we'll see.
I
see what happens with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to Charleston on our next trip.
When's that going to be?
Probably not until after the new year, because once November starts, we got all the kids and the family coming. This is probably our last RV trip of the year. So our first trip of next year will be in Charleston.
Okay, well, just don't make it like anywhere after like June. It's just retarded.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going when it's like super hot. Like Butthole of Satan is not for me.
It's that. And it's so busy. So it's just, yeah. Mrs. DBV, I got a task for you over here from Insta. Can you go put the link over there in the Insta side for Shauna Solt 79, please? Thank you.
Oh, Matthew, Dothan's right up the street from me, and my daughter actually lives in Mobile, Alabama, so I go down to Mobile like all the time to go see my grandkids. So my oldest daughter still lives in Mobile. My middle daughter lives in Biloxi, Mississippi. So they're both about 3 hours away.
Yeah. Look, Matt says it right there. Yeah, we ain't wrong. That Charleston is full. It's too hot. There's bugs. There's lots of bugs. And the traffic sucks. So don't anybody else move here.
Is it really hot down there? Like our hot? Like humidity?
You're hot?
Like Alabama hot is hot.
No.
Surely.
It was 91 today. Or yesterday, it was 91. The only reason it's not 91 is we've got a hurricane coming through.
Why did I think y'all were further north? So it shouldn't have been that.
We are right on the curl of the Atlantic current. All that moisture coming from the south, from the Caribbean and stuff like that, just pushes right up into our coast and just wallops up with humidity, basically from January 1st to December 31st.
Okay, no, it's the humidity that takes me out every year. Like I used to be a full summer girl.
It's so bad. You like walk outside and you're like, I can't breathe. Doesn't matter if you like take 5 showers a day. It doesn't matter. You're gonna sweat. You just sweat.
I don't know why sweating when I'm not doing something that should cause me to sweat makes me irrationally angry.
Yes, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. Like no one from Charleston is doing anything in July through September. We're not doing anything. We're gonna stay in the house in the air conditioning. But anybody who is outside is not from here. We're gonna mow the yard at dusk or dawn, and we're gonna stay in the house the rest of the day because that's hot.
I don't know if it's my age now, because I was telling my husband, I used to be a summer girl. Like I've lived for summer. Like let me be outside in summer all the time. And the older I get, I'm like, you can go F summer. I am definitely a fall and a spring girl. Like give me some nice, sweaters. And I feel like people dress more appropriately in the fall. Like I feel like we dress nicer when you have to wear sweaters and jeans. Like when we're wearing thoughty shit. I learned that word from my daughter recently.
The what?
Thoughty.
Thoughty?
Like I don't know if I can even say it on here. Look up the meaning of thought. THOT. Thought.
Here's my other phone. I don't want to look it up on that phone.
Yeah. So I learned these little slang words like when
is this like thoughty? Thoughty? Like
THOT. You're being a thought.
Thought. Why?
Yeah, thought. THOT. Like your thought.
Thoughty meaning. Here we go. To be considerate,
No,
No, it's
you're
thoughtful.
thinking of
It's thoughtful.
thoughtful. Damn it. It basically means another word for being a hoe.
Oh, well, you could have said that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was funnier when you actually have the acronym of what it was, and I forgot what she said. But she's like, "Oh
Right?
my god, everybody dresses so thoughty in the summer," and
So
I'm like,
body.
"Yeah,
Skanky. We can't say skanky anymore.
yes, that's what it is. It was skanky, right?" And I even told my own husband this. I said, "Look, in the summer, because I'm so damn hot and I don't want to sweat in my good clothes, I will wear the tank tops and shorts and the Crocs, whatever. When it comes fall." I've got the nice sweaters. My hair looks better. I got cute shoes on. You just feel like you're more presentable to the world.
The real change in me is I wear hoodies. I'm still wearing shorts.
Okay, you're still wearing. That is not even right. Where you wear hoodies and shorts. Like I feel like that just shouldn't even go together.
Yeah, hoodies and shorts. That's like pretty common winter wear here in Charleston.
Really?
Hoodies and shorts. Yeah, it's never really cold enough that you actually need pants. Especially if you're big fella. Especially if you're big fella.
Chattanooga isn't any less than the humidity area. We've been to Chattanooga in full summer, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, but there's less heat here because especially in the elevations.
Did you say heatier?
Yeah.
Heatier's not a word, is it?
It is.
As I'm looking down at my phone, like, is this a word? Like, because
less heatier. It's less hottier.
Yeah, socks and Crocs. That's.
Don't do socks and Crocs.
I wear socks and Crocs because I have.
Do not do that.
I don't do it out in public, but when I'm at home, I've definitely got socks because
why don't you get the insulated ones?
I do, and that's the ones that I wear the socks with because I don't want it to be stanky. Look, if you got your stanky foot in a Croc, it's going to be nasty after a while. So if I put socks on, I can wash the socks. I don't have a Franken toe.
You got a Franken toe.
I have had multiple surgeries on my toe, and so my big toe on my right foot is like a nub. It's like a little nubby, and it doesn't even like stay down now. It stays up like this, like some weird thing. It doesn't touch the ground like you can do, like, because there's a fake joint here. So I had to throw away all my heels, which was tragic for me because I'm 5'2", because my foot doesn't bend like this anymore. So I have to wear like grandma shoes. So stop.
Look, I want to tell. Somebody says they don't wear Crocs. Y'all people don't be hating on these Crocs, okay? Don't be hating on the Crocs. I love Crocs. Okay, those are my Jurassic Park Crocs. All the jewels fell off of them. But I got like 4 or 5 pairs of Crocs.
I have 4 or 5 pairs of Crocs as well, and I just got introduced to Birkenstocks.
That's what Mrs. DBV. She loves Birkenstocks. That's her thing.
Well, she's the one who made me go buy them. When I met her and when she kept showing them to me, I was like, "How have I never had Birkenstocks?" So I finally got my first pair because of your wife. Thanks, Julie.
Don't be hating Crocs, people. Don't be hating on Crocs. Crocs are the ish. I don't wear them out in town. I don't wear Crocs out in town, but around the house, as soon as I get home, it's Crocs.
I wear my Crocs anywhere. At this point, I'm 52 years old. I'm like, look, there's nothing you can say or do to me that's going to make me change who I am. So I am going to rock them Crocs with them socks.
Look, I'm about 3 weeks away from a moo-moo. Okay. I'm not. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. If it's comfortable, I'm on, especially at home. Look, and I have going out shorts and going out t-shirts, and
I do too.
They're special. I only wear those when I leave the house, and as soon as I get home, I put on my house clothes, my gym shorts and my Crocs and my house t-shirts.
I am 100% comfy girl.
This is a going out t-shirt, by the way. I'm wearing a going out t-shirt in the house.
As long as I don't end up in a People of Walmart calendar, I'm fine. So. And it's been questionable some days. Like some days, my husband even goes, "God, thank God you're already married." Facts.
Look.
Because I look questionable some days. So my choices of, hey, it's comfortable. I have to run out. I don't got time for you to tell me how I look.
Well, see, here's the other thing. Is I'm afraid of somebody. Goes back to that original conversation. I'm afraid of people running into me. Like if I'm out there looking like a hot bag of trash.
I was.
And somebody's like, "Dad bod, you look rough today. You all right, bro?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm not good."
I always feel that too. And what I get a lot from people when they meet me in public is like, "I didn't realize you were this short." I don't know. Does TikTok make me look tall? Because I'm pretty sure a few times I was standing next to my car and you'd see that I couldn't even see over the. You know. Yeah, I look like a child next to my husband. I mean, he's 6'2". I'm 5'1". So, I look like a child next to him.
Yeah, that's. I have the same problem. Make everybody look small. It's not. It's not all it's cracked up to be, okay? For all
Neither
you
is my vantage point. I made my husband do a TikTok where he takes the camera and points it down at
and
me
points
so I
it
can
down
see
at
his
you.
perspective.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Why do I look
Yeah.
like a kumquat? Like, are you looking at me and I'm looking like a damn mushroom? Right? Like, how is that attractive? Like, I did not like that view. I was like, no.
I need to do that for Julie. I need to
I'm
do
telling
that.
you, don't, because it's going to give her a complex. Like, it gave me I was like, oh,
No,
my God, that's
she
how
don't
you
need
see
another complex. She don't need another one. She
Yeah,
don't need
not
another
child
one.
size, fun size.
Oh God. Yeah, fun size. Wife is only 4'9", and my sister is like, I think my sister's like that. She's like 4'11" or something like that.
Well, give me 2 more years, I'll probably be there. You know, they tell you shrink as you're getting older. I'm not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm already starting to feel like because I used to be 6'4", now I'm like 6'3", and I'm sure it's gonna
look. If I wait any longer, because I was 5'2", now I'm 5'1". In 5 years from now, I'm gonna be legally declared a midget. Like legally.
What height is that?
Okay, it's 4'5" is legally declared a midget.
I didn't know there was actually a legal height to it.
Yes, that's gonna be me, and I'm fine. I will rock it with everybody else. Oh my God, I hate him sometimes.
Small people. Small people.
You're right. You're right.
Legally declared a small person.
This is why I don't go out in public, because I forget how to talk sometimes.
You can't ride certain things at the carnival.
I actually got declined to go on a ride one time because of my stupid height.
It's for your safety. It's for your safety.
I was like, I am a grown-ass adult. My
Look,
kids could go
there's a
on
lot of things. There's a lot of things that I don't get on because I know I'm past the weight limit. Okay, I know. I only have to look at the ride. I look at the ride. I'm like, nah, I'm not going on that. Why? Because I'm too big. I'm too heavy, and that thing's gonna break. And which I've now exclusively said is every ride at the carnival. So I just don't go on them.
That is true. And I used to love carnival rides, and now I get on them and instantly get nauseous.
Nope, I don't. I've never been a fan. I've never ridden a roller coaster in my life, and I'm okay with it. I
cannot believe you've never. Now I feel like you have to go on a roller coaster once before.
I think that you can pucker up and kiss my, you know what, because it ain't happening. Okay.
Hey, look, everybody else said they shrunk too.
I saw what happened to that ride at Carowinds where the weld was all broken.
Oh,
I ain't trying to be on that. I don't trust the dudes who put that together. I don't trust the dudes.
Go to Dolly World. You know that'll be all right.
Why? Because it's got Dolly on the sign?
I'm thinking she don't want to get sued.
She don't care.
Right.
She don't give a damn. She's sitting back collecting checks and doing whatever she wants to. She's almost 80.
No, shut. She is not. Is she 80?
79.
Why does that make me feel old now?
How old's Reba?
What, 67?
62, 62, 65. We looked this up yesterday because we were watching The Voice. But she's older too. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what makes me feel old? When all my idols that I grew up with, like that I had life-size stuff, are dying.
Yeah. James Earl Jones. He just kicked the bucket.
No, I can't.
It's like my vocal hero.
Donald Sutherland.
Oh,
Donald Sutherland.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. Bill Paxton. They're all going out.
It's weird, and it just really makes you kind of take stock in where you are and just go, oh my God. But
I like the praise the fact that you got here. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I'm 52. I feel like I have the mind of a 30-year-old, meaning I have the maturity of a 52-year-old, but
no, you've got the maturity of a 10-year-old.
I'm trying to
listen. I want to say that he is making this one of the best live streams I've had yet because he's like the freaking peanut gallery.
Thank you. This is my life.
I love it.
People
take him with you every time.
He's that peanut gallery every time.
Reba's 69. Reba's 69. Mrs. DVB said.
Okay, she's 69. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackie Chan is still around. Oh, but he's gonna live forever. I feel like
but he's
be around forever.
I think he's been put together so he can keep staying. I don't know. He's been broken so many times.
Facts. Maybe he's just gonna be.
I don't think he has any real joints anymore.
I know I don't either. I'm surprised I get up and down the stairs every day.
Oh, don't need
but that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like I could do anything. Like my mind goes, yes, I can go climb that mountain. I can go do that thing. I want to be involved. I want to go do it. And then when I go do it, I'm like, who the hell told you can do this?
Yeah, I usually listen to that part that says you can't do it.
Not me. I wait until something gets hurt and then go, you were right.
I'm in the
You're right.
I'm in the what is it? The protectionist mode right now. I want to keep this thing running as long as I can. I'm gonna
You
try
know,
to avoid all risky things. In
well,
fact, that's what I base half of my content on, is making funny people that do it.
that's true. I mean, you have content for days just because
I
there's so many people that will
make it
do
easy.
shit that you have no business doing.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing that, bro. You don't need
So
to be doing
many.
that. You
But
old people, you don't need to be doing that.
my biggest thing is you can't tell me I can't do something, because then I will make sure. I mean, the reason why I climbed Mount Fuji is because my ex-husband said there was no way in hell I could do it. So
How old
up
were you
Mount
when you did
Fuji,
that?
I was 39, I believe, at the time.
God damn.
And like, no, I didn't say that I did.
No, it was before that.
Did nothing came out. I mean, I climbed up. It took us 12 hours to climb up, and I think 6 hours to come back down. And because the
It's
coming
always the
back
coming
down,
down to easy.
yeah, but I lost all my toenails. Like, all of my toenails just fell off the next day because the incline coming down was so steep that it put so much pressure on my feet that the toenails just literally just fell out of my feet
Sucker.
for a full year till
Wow.
them to grow up. My daughter would like take crayons or anything else and try to paint little toenails on me. Like, I just had little skin nubs that looked so weird.
Let this
But
be
I
a
made it.
lesson to everyone who's listening right now. You're too fucking old.
It was skin nubs, but I couldn't get up and walk either. Like, when I got to the
You're a
bottom of
walking.
Mount Fuji, I had to crawl to the bus to get back on. My legs were like sketty.
You're a walking
Not moving.
lesson.
Yeah. And I wonder now why I have such back, hip, and knee joint pains. All
Oh
that
yeah, it's got nothing to do with
What?
that. No,
Absolutely,
no,
I'm
it's got
fine.
nothing to do with that. Couldn't be, could never
Yes,
be.
Miss Dadbod. Yes, Julie. I've done some crazy shit to my body over the years, and now it's going. Hold my beer. I'm not done. So that's where I'm at in my life.
Don't do it. Just don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Take lessons from us.
But then you have such good stories to tell, though.
I can have a good story without that. I can make up some good shit. I don't have to actually go do it.
Thank you, Joshua. Tell me I can't do it, and then it says hold my beer as I do it. Exactly.
And Josh, I'll make a video of you right after you do it. Make sure
I'm
somebody's
telling
filming
you,
it. Appreciate it.
20 years from now, the nursing homes are going to be lit. They're not going to know how
They ain't
to
gonna be lit because we're gonna be broke. And see, this is the difference. The ones that are in a nursing home right now, they can still get around, and they're turning nursing homes into like brothels. Okay, because we know that the nursing home is lit for all the wrong reasons. Okay, look, I'll get to you in a minute, ma'am. I'll get to you in a minute. Okay, but when we get there, we're gonna be so broke that we're just gonna be scrolling around in wheelchairs because we did all this stupid stuff for our entire life, and it's gonna catch up with us. Like I got a bad hip, and the doc won't even replace it because he said it ain't bad enough yet. And you got a toe sticking up like Thumbelina, and I mean, it ain't gonna be lit. They're gonna be lit in our minds. We're gonna be sitting there looking like vegetables, drooling all over ourselves, and it's gonna be lit. The party that's going on in here, but we ain't gonna do anything in the nursing home.
Well, not even the damn tail. I got a custom brace that I had to bring with me here because my knee is acting janky now too, and they had to make a custom 3D brace for my knee because I'm refusing to get knee surgery. I'm like, nah.
That's the only thing that's going to save us. That's the only thing that's going to save us is technology is going to replace all them joints and keep them running. But our brain is going to go.
My girlfriend just got both of her hips replaced, and she was like back up and walking within a week because it's not like the hip replacements back 20 years ago. Like, she was, there she goes.
That's what they. That's what everybody told.
You had problems too. Don't play.
I'll get to her in a second. Well. Let's close this down here because I think we're gonna get in some interesting commentary if we keep going down this road. Jessica, you got anything you want to tell the people about what you got coming up in the future? What's your next big adventure? What's going on in Jessica's world and social media and whatever the hell you want to plug?
Look, Jessica's world. Jessica doesn't know what's going on in Jessica's world. Like, my content, like I said, is all over the place. It is just my day-to-day. This is how Gen X lives now, and I enjoy what I do. Check me out on both of them. I'm That1Crazy72 on TikTok and Instagram. And my Etsy shops are linked on both of those if you click the direct.me link. So I'd love to make you a custom t-shirt or a t-shirt and just come and enjoy the adventures. It's been fun. And I really thank you for having me on. You broke my cherry, and I enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. I'm glad that I could be your first. in
Yeah,
a weird
Michelle
way.
goes, yeah, she never knows for sure. That's my girlfriend, Michelle. That's one of the ones I met on TikTok and is like friends with in real life. So she knows I'm all over the place. I could call you today and say, hey, let's hang out tomorrow. And I never plan for it.
Well, it's been an absolute blast, especially with your peanut gallery back there. He's been absolutely awesome supporting cast there. And this has really been fun. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be on here with me, especially when you're out there camping and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
So I always like to plug some things on my side too.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, coming up next on Wednesday, October 9th at 8 p.m. is our first Coffee and Creators International with the Baron himself, Nathan Hepburn. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he is an absolute hoot. Big guy down there in Australia, loves peanut butter and other stuff. And then after that, speak of the fucking devil, Miss Elizabeth Stevens, Bennett Peach will be live here in the Coffee and Creators sessions on October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. This is not an international, though some may consider her to be an international exotic. We will have her live here for Coffee and Creators. So that's what's coming up next from my side. But there's one other thing that I want to plug since I'm here. If you guys didn't know, we are doing our next Gen X takeover, which is going to be in Cleveland on November 9th. The comedy show is sold out for the comedy show only tickets, but there are still some VIP tickets available. It will be from 2 to 4 at the Big Bang Dueling Piano for the comedy show, and then the house party thereafter. If you get the VIP tickets, you get the whole shebang, plus some special time with us. This is going to be a lot more of an intimate setting than it was in Nashville, a lot smaller. And it's also going to be a dueling piano bar with the whole band there while we're doing our comedy show and then our extra stuff that we're going to do during the house party. So it's going to be completely different than what we did in Nashville. And we're going to kind of keep that theme going through the rest of them. This will be our last show in 2024. The next one will be early January of 2025 with the actual location to be released. But get those tickets if you want them. If you're in the Cleveland area during that time, genxtakeover.com. Hurry because they're going fast. I can't tell you enough to hurry because they're going to be gone here in a minute.
Hall of Fame's up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff up there in Cleveland. Plus, the weather's going to be cooler. So if you guys have the opportunity, I think, Jessica, you were at the last one in Nashville. What did you think? What was your impression?
I loved it because it was one of those things that you can, the only place you can actually be in one big group and have something in common with just about anybody. So it was really cool to just meet a whole bunch of people. And it didn't have to be people that even have a platform. Just meet like-minded people, all our age, having a good time on the same day. You know, I mean, you're not going to go to a bar and be able to actually meet people that you may connect with on a totally different level. And I think that y'all got that. You rocked it.
Well, thank you very much. And of course, you guys know who's going to be there. Nick Harrison, Slim Sherry, myself, and Kelly Mono. So genxtakeover.com for those tickets. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast, Jessica. I really appreciate you giving me this hour of your life. And I hope that you got more than that out of it. And of course, you and I will keep in touch.
Absolutely.
If you need anything, give me a holler. And hopefully everybody is following her now that's been watching this, either on Instagram or over on Facebook. That's That1Crazy72 on TikTok and Instagram, and Jessica Mccabe over on Facebook. So those are her spots. And then you've also got her little QR code right there. You can get over to her merch store. So Jessica, thank you once again. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much. Tell
Go
your
get some
wife
whiskey.
hello for me. Tell her thanks for the Birkenstocks thing because I'm loving them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have yourself a good night. Tell your hubby I said hi.
I sure will.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.